Welcome to the arena. Zeth and Esther are stepping up for this duel, with Esther entering as the clear favorite. Esther holds a huge historical advantage with a 79% win rate in their head-to-head. It's clear he's always been the dominant force in this pair. We just need to see if Zeth can actually push a series this far. Zeth is surprisingly in control with a 2-1 lead. He's been absolute fire with 33 wins today. Esther has completely flipped the script here, erasing that early deficit in the blink of an eye. He's really taking charge of this match, picking up another effortless point. Esther is really putting his top 12 ranking on display right now. A tight trade of shots, but Zeth comes out on top to level the score. Zeth is really fighting against the odds today. Esther catches him right as he's climbing the ramp to pull ahead again. He's looking incredibly sharp with that high daily win count. Esther has been on an incredible tear today, going 33-3 in his last few hours. And honestly, he's just looking much more comfortable than Zeth right now. We're seeing that confidence translate into an aggressive pace that is simply too hard to track. Total deadlock now with Zeth and Esther knotted at 5. Zeth is really stepping up his game against the number 12 seed. Zeth is simply unstoppable right now, picking up another victory to take the lead. Truly surprising to see this given their overall history together. We're all tied up at 6 apiece going into the break. You know, Zeth is playing way above his usual rank here. He's refusing to be pushed around by the top seeded player in this match. Fresh start for both of them. Aster claws back the lead to make it 7-6. He's definitely finding his stride after that recent loss to Omnic. Zeth answers right back and we're locked at 7. Really shaking off the dust from that Italy loss earlier. These two are just trading blows now. It's anyone's game as we head into the final stretch. We're seeing a familiar pattern here, similar to their previous clash. Aster has surged ahead to a commanding 9-7 lead. The skill gap is starting to look like a canyon right now. Aster just completely shut him down, walking away without a single scratch. Aster is just untouchable, dropping another shot onto the ramp to keep his streak alive. The gap between their ratings is showing in the clutch. Zeth keeps his composure from the ramp to hold the momentum. He's showing a lot of grit despite the ranking disadvantage. What a way to set up the finale as Aster puts himself just a single point away from victory. A huge read from Zeth to keep his hopes alive in this set. He's making Aster earn every single point in this half. What a reflex! Zeth stays composed to shut everything down and extend his rally. What a clutch play to keep the game going. He's refusing to buckle under that pressure. Zeth is putting up a hell of a fight against the higher seed. Unreal. Aster finds the final shot and closes out the series. He really pushed him to the limit this time, nearly pulling off the impossible. That'll be a tough one to shake. What a fight. Welcome everyone to Orange. We've got a great matchup here today between Omnic and Zeth. Zeth holds the historical edge here with a 52% win rate in their head-to-head matchups, but Omnic is the one coming off a strong performance against Aster. It'll be interesting to see if he can maintain that energy now. Zeth is cruising right now, leading 2-1. The higher seed is asserting himself early. He's completely taken control of the server now, securing his third straight victory. The gap in ratings is starting to tell. Absolute control from Zeth, who just secured a fourth straight victory. It's been a tough stretch for the number 38 rated player today. Finally, a breakthrough for Omnic, surviving a heavy exchange to claw back into the map. The underdog is starting to find an opening here. A total shutdown there. He's keeping the pressure on as he narrows this gap. He's playing with a lot of confidence after that win against Aster. Unbelievable. He's completely wiped out that early lead to bring us back to a deadlock. The momentum has completely shifted in this series. He just can't be stopped right now, officially taking the lead in this series. The momentum has completely flipped from what we expected pre-match. Zeth answers right back to level the playing field. It's a total stalemate for both of them now. He keeps his foot on the gas with another effortless round, giving his opponent nothing before the break. The lower seed is really digging in his heels here. Omnic takes a 7-5 lead into the break, and honestly, it's a bit of a surprise since Zeth generally does better in their matchups. Both players had identical 4-round runs, so it's still anyone's game here. Time to see if Zeth responds. Zeth strikes back, leaving Omnic just one step ahead. He's definitely fighting for his life after that tough 729 run today. Zeth has fallen back to an absolute tie. A really tight battle, considering the difference in their ladder positions. He's simply not missing, extending that streak to 3 while staying completely untouched. He's definitely playing like the higher rated player tonight. He is absolutely peaking right now, securing a 4th straight point without taking any damage. A total shutout here as the streak climbs to 5. It looks like that previous fast aim result is repeating itself here. What a way to respond! Omnic shuts down that rally with an incredibly crisp reaction. Another quick victory here, proving he has the grit to climb back into the series. That's exactly the fight we need to see from the lower seed. What a scrap! Zeth barely scrapes through that exchange, clinging to a tiny sliver of health. Talk about a heart-stopping finish to that exchange. A fierce exchange ends with Zeth on top, putting him just 1 point away from victory. The higher rank is really reclaiming his territory here. What a finish! Zeth secures the victory and closes out the map. Omnic really gave him a run for his money, but that consistency in the clutch just wasn't there. What a fight! Welcome to Berserk League duels, where on Italy as Omnic takes on the heavily favored Aster. Aster leads their head-to-head record with 437 wins over Omnic, but he's already feeling the pressure of the early deficit. Since Omnic actually beat him in their very last meeting, this might not be as one-sided as it looks on paper. We'll see if Aster can pivot and reclaim control. He's just completely shut him down with an untouchable start to the map. The gap in the ladder is really showing right now. He's just outclassing his opponent right now, taking a massive lead early on. Absolutely effortless. He's just putting on a show right now. Hard to believe he's putting up these numbers today. Aster finally gets a round on the board, though he's still trailing significantly. Omnic is currently on a nightmarish run with a 729 record over the last day. You know, it's actually wild to see him outplay a top-tier talent like Aster right now. He's fighting against the tide of his own recent form with every single round. Omnic is just cruising along with a massive 7-2 lead. The rating gap here is staggering, yet he's not feeling it. The speed of these encounters is just wild. Omnic is ending these rounds in the blink of an eye. A fierce exchange of shots, but the momentum stays firmly with Omnic as he takes another round. Omnic takes a surprising 9-3 lead, while he's completely flipped the script against a much higher ranked opponent. Aster is staring at a steep climb to get back into this match. Time for a complete reset. Aster barely budged the needle, leaving it 9-4. His experience over a long history of matchups is starting to leak through. Aster claws back another, bringing it to 9-5. He's clearly looking for that same dominance he's shown against others today. He's completely locked in now, securing his third straight victory. The experience gap is finally starting to pay dividends. He just shuts that down immediately, putting his lead back up to 10. Omnic is just relentless today, refusing to let Aster get any breathing room. Aster is trying to put a stop to that run and bring this score closer. He's really having to fight for every single point here. Omnic survives a close exchange to push his lead to 12-7. It is a complete shock given their expected win rate. Aster manages to find the opening from the wine, keeping himself alive for another round. A timely stop to keep the game alive. Unreal. He barely escapes with his life to secure the victory and the match. Just a total shock to the system. He's really putting an end to his losing streak with a massive statement win today. What a result! Welcome everyone, we've got Zeph and Aster facing off on fast aim with a heavy favorite looking for another win. Aster is looking completely locked in today with a massive 32-4 record across his recent games. He is comfortably leaning into that confidence as he tries to widen the gap here. It will be interesting to see if Zeth can find a way to disrupt this momentum. Aster takes a narrow lead, pushing ahead 2-1. He really looks like the superior player in this matchup. Zeth quickly takes control of the server, shutting down Aster's push up the ramp. A high-stakes battle for the underdog, who's historically struggled here. Aster edges forward, holding a slim one-round advantage. Zeth has definitely struggled in their head-to-head history. Aster is pulling away now, commanding a 4-2 lead. He's certainly making his rank advantage felt in this set. He's completely in control now, taking a commanding 5-round lead. He's leaning on that historic edge in their lifetime meetings. Zeth finds his footing again, picking up a quick kill from the ramp to close the gap. A nice bit of resilience there to keep things competitive. Another sharp trade from the ramp puts Zeth in a much better position. He's certainly fighting back against the odds here. Zeth has a win rate of only 36% on this map. And it shows in the way he's fighting for every single round here. The challenge now is for him to sustain this fight against a much more seasoned opponent. Aster goes into the break with an 8-4 advantage. Things are playing out exactly as we predicted. He's simply looking too strong, and Zeth needs a major adjustment to stop the bleeding. Fresh sides, let's get back into it. Aster just put him down on the ramp, really tightening the noose here. The gap in the ladder is starting to feel quite wide. Zeth is really fighting to stay in this quickly, cleaning up that angle on the ramp. Aster was lightning fast there, quickly putting Zeth down from the ramp. Zeth is having a tough day overall with that 13-21 record. The pressure is really mounting for Zeth now. He needs a couple of quick responses to keep this set alive. He looks completely comfortable with his rank 13 status today. He just wipes the floor with Zeth, clearing him off that ramp to set up the final round. Purely reflecting the gap between these two right now. And that is it? Aster closes the series with total authority to secure the victory. Just another day at the office for the higher seed, who really didn't let up for a second. Welcome to Red Line. We've got Omnic and Zeth facing off today, with Zeth entering as the slight favorite. Zeth holds a solid lead with a total of 271 head-to-head wins over Omnic. And we saw that confidence play out in their most recent clash on Orange as well. Now the goal for Omnic is to keep this from becoming another one-sided series. The momentum has completely shifted as Zeth pushes his lead to 3 straight. He's certainly taking advantage of that rating edge. Absolutely effortless. He's just completely shut out Omnic right now. Unreal. Omnic claws back the round in a total scramble, barely surviving the encounter. His overall match record today has been quite rough. He's not going down without a fight, taking another round to close the gap. It's becoming a much tighter contest than we expected. Omnic is on fire, holding the ramp to secure his 3rd straight round. The underdog is starting to look very comfortable in this series. Zeth recovers his footing, picking his opponent off from the ramp to move ahead. The top half rating is starting to make a difference. A quick reaction from Omnic to secure another win, showing a lot of heart in this match. He completely erases the deficit, knocking Zeth off the ramp to level things up at 5-all. This is exactly what the analysts were worried about going in. A huge play as he picks the opponent off the ramp, keeping the roll going. The momentum has completely flipped in this series. We're all squared up at 6 apiece heading into the break. Well, we expected a close series and it's living up to that. Both players have found a way to trade strong streaks throughout the first half. Time to see who blinks first. A grueling exchange of shots, but he earns the edge to take a lead in the second half. He's really challenging the status quo in this pairing. What a desperate fight. He digs deep to hold that ramp and walks away with a huge victory. He's showing some serious nerves of steel in these close calls. He's completely taking over this map, securing another victory to widen the gap. Zeth maintains his composure and secures another win from the ramp. The higher ranked player is starting to step up. A completely effortless stop there, showing just how tenacious he's been during this rally. A very clean look at that, barely any time for a response. He's showing a ton of fight, erasing that mistake quickly to move within 2 of the finish line. Zeth answers right back from that high ground, keeping things very interesting as we head into the final stretch. A perfect shot picks Omnic off the ramp as Zeth continues to chip away at this deficit. The pressure is mounting for that higher seed to close this out. What an incredible recovery. He nearly goes down but manages to clutch it out with just 13 health. He refuses to let that sliding momentum pull him under. What a finish! He overcomes everything to take the final round and seal the series. Coming off that loss on Orange, he just refused to be intimidated this time. He really ground this one out. What a fight! Welcome to Dunes. We have Omnic taking on the heavily favored Aster in today's match. Let's see who wins. Aster has completely owned the head-to-head history in their long rivalry, and honestly, he's been an absolute force today with a dominant record in his last few games. Omnic will need to find a way to disrupt that confidence early. Omnic has a surprising 2-1 lead heading into round 4. He's simply refusing to let go of this momentum, securing his 3rd straight win. The rating gap between these two is staggering. Aster answers back quickly, getting the better of the exchange. Omnic surging ahead again with a commanding 4-2 lead. It's almost unheard of for the number 37 seed to be this comfortable. Omnic keeps the pressure on, leading 4-3. He's been in a class of his own with that 33-4 run today. Omnic has an all-time win rate of only 34% across his long career. That makes this current lead even more impressive given how often he usually falls behind. I wonder if we're seeing a genuine shift in this rivalry. A total deadlock now, we're all tied up at 5. We're seeing that top quartile skill gap start to lean in. He's completely untouchable right now, securing a clean kill from the box to extend the lead. Aster is really starting to flex that skill gap. We've got a dead heat at 6-all. I mean, it's a huge surprise to see the lower ranked player holding his own like this. Now we just have to see if Omnic can keep this pace for another 6 rounds. Switching sides, let's get back in it. Omnic clawed back the advantage to make it 7-6. He's definitely not intimidated by the gap in their rankings. What a fight! He barely scrapes through with a sliver of health to take an 8-6 lead. Total chaos in that trade. He's just barely holding on. Pure dominance right now as he puts together a 3-round burst to move to 9-6. Aster responds immediately, showing great resolve with a complete shutdown to close the gap. What a scramble! He manages to clutch out the win through a chaotic exchange to stay right in this game. He's really finding a way to claw back into this. He's completely shut down that lead, erasing the gap entirely to bring us back to a draw. He secures his 4th straight win from the box, and the momentum has completely swung. Exactly the kind of collapse we expected from a lower seed. He's just relentless, taking 5 in a row to move within striking distance. He is really playing the role of the favorite today. Omnic halts the slide with a clean exchange, keeping himself in the mix. He's looking to repeat that 13-8 result from their previous encounter. That was efficient. Aster is now just a single round away from victory. A huge stand here, keeping his hopes alive by shutting down that closing attempt. Unbelievable! Aster shuts the door and completes a stunning recovery to take the win. Omnic really made him sweat for every single point, but the experience just showed through in those final moments. He fought like a warrior. What a battle! Welcome to the Berserk League. We're on orange today as Zeth takes on the heavy favorite Aster. Aster has routinely been the better player, leading the head-to-head rivalry 371 to 100. That historical gap is clearly playing a role today. It will be interesting to see if Zeth can find any answer to that pressure. Another effortless round for the favorite, who's now completely in control. He's certainly playing like a top 12 seed right now. A quick response from Zeth, proving he can still hold his own here. He's definitely fighting the good fight right now. Aster is just dominating, holding a huge 4-1 lead. He is really capitalizing on his 32-4 run from today. A gritty exchange here, but Zeth claws back another one to close the gap. A huge burst of energy from him to stay in this. Aster is really showcasing why he's a top 12 seed right now. It's a stark contrast to Zeth, who has struggled throughout the day with a 13-22 record. He's essentially fighting an uphill battle in every single exchange. Aster maintains a comfortable 3-round cushion now. It's a tough draw for the 33 ranked player. Zeth just can't string together a couple of rounds to really challenge Aster's lead. Aster is cruising now, putting up an 8-3 lead. Coming off that dominant win on fast aim, he looks completely refreshed. Aster holds a solid 8-4 lead heading into the break. I mean, everything is playing out exactly as the analysts predicted. He's really making the most of his 76% map win rate here. Let's see if Zeth can shake things up. Aster is staring down the finish line at 9-4. It is starting to look just like their last meeting. Aster just keeps pulling away with a 10-4 lead. He's really making his experience throughout those 1600 matches count. He's just too sharp right now, continuing this tier with a completely untouched victory. A tough encounter here, but Zeth manages to scrape through for another point. That was a fast exchange to get back on the board. Zeth is putting up a spirited defense here, refusing to let this match slip away easily. Aster closes in on victory with a lightning fast flick, putting him one step away from the match. Zeth pulls off a huge stop here, keeping the dream alive with an absolute laser of a shot. What a desperate scramble. He barely survives that exchange to push the score to 8-12. Absolutely clutch movement there to secure the point. What a chaotic finish. Both players were nearly out of health, but Aster manages to edge out the final shot to secure the victory. He just had too much experience to let that slip away, but Zeth really pushed him to the brink. What a fight! Welcome everyone to the arena. Omnic and Zeth are facing off on Mappas, with the slight favorite looking for a strong win. Zeth usually controls this pairing, having won 52% of their encounters over time. That means Omnic is fighting an uphill battle against a player who traditionally knows how to beat him. It'll be interesting to see if that pattern holds today. Omnic is absolutely cruising with a clean 2-0 lead. It's a tough look for someone holding the ladder advantage. Zeth close back around to make it 2-1. He's desperate for something to go his way after 3 straight losses today. Zeth is picking up some real speed now, quickly evening this thing out. It's a total reset, and Zeth has the better head-to-head overall. Absolute perfection from Zeth, who is now completely taking over this match. He certainly looks better than his recent loss against Aster. He's simply too fast right now, securing another one to extend this runaway lead. He's really shaking off those recent defeats. What a fight! Both players were nearly out of health, but he managed to scrape through and secure his 5th straight round. He's definitely shaking off a tough run after that last loss to Aster. Omnic answers right back, showing some real grit to break that long run. He needed that to prove he can keep pace tonight. He's showing real heart here, picking up another round to keep his hopes alive. He's looking much more comfortable in these exchanges now. A complete turnaround. He manages to level the score and keep this surge going. Zeth trades back into the lead, capping things off for the first half. The higher rated player is finally finding a way to stay consistent. Zeth holds a 7-5 lead as we head into the break. Well, he's successfully defending his map advantage and keeping the pressure on. We should see if Omnic can keep those shorter streaks going to bridge the gap. Fresh sides, new energy. Omnic is having a really tough time today, dropping a lot of ground with only 8 wins in his last 27 matches. It's clear he's struggling to put together a consistent run compared to the confidence Zeth is showing right now. I wonder if he can find a way to break this downward slide. Zeth is pushing the lead to a 3-round gap. That's another win for Omnic in their last 2 meetings. Zeth is really putting the clamps on this match and starting to pull away. Zeth is practically on autopilot now, moving through these rounds with a lethal kind of efficiency. Zeth has a comfortable buffer, but he cannot afford to let Omnic gain too much momentum now. Zeth looked so secure and steady, but now those lead protecting rounds are starting to slip away. The gap between these two in the ratings isn't telling the whole story. A lightning fast reaction from Zeth, putting him just a single round away from victory. Omnic manages to secure a clutch win to keep the dream alive for now. A sudden shift in tempo to bring this game closer. Game over. He outlasts the final exchange to seal the victory. He really leaned into that map knowledge today. Zeth just looked a cut above in every single engagement. Welcome to the show. We have Omnic and Aster facing off on fast aim, with the favorite looking to stay dominant. What a fight! Aster barely escapes that exchange with his life to take the first. Omnic is really taking advantage of that ramp position to level things up right away. Both of them have looked shaky in their recent series. Aster is absolutely on fire today with a 30-4 record over the last 24 hours. It's clear he's carrying that momentum into this map and making it look easy. The question is if Omnic can even find a way to disrupt this flow. Aster's holding a narrow lead as we head back in. It's a tough hill to climb given their head-to-head history. Omnic is really putting the pressure on now, using that ramp to take control of the series. He's fighting an uphill battle against a clearly superior overall win rate. A complete shutdown here as he secures his third straight win to take a 4-3 lead. A tough spot for the higher rated man in this duel. Aster answers back immediately to bring the score level. He has a massive overall lead in their head-to-head history. Aster edges ahead by a single point right now. The higher rated player is starting to assert a lot of control. Aster shuts the door on that comeback attempt with an incredibly fast flick. He's completely take over this set now, claiming a 4th straight round to wrap up the first half. A brutal way to end the first half. Aster takes a 7-5 lead into the break. The favorites are staying on top as they've done in 75% of their past encounters. Now we just see if Omnic can push back after that tough Let's see if Omnic resets. He's refusing to go away, reacting instantly to keep this fight competitive. A really gutsy effort from the underdog to keep this close. Omnic has really struggled lately, going 8-28 over the last day. So yeah, he's fighting a huge deficit in confidence coming into this second half. It'll be a tall order to claw back these rounds against someone who's just completely opposite in form. Another effortless kill for the underdog, who is now dead even in this series. A total whitewash for Omnic, who has now seized control with 3 straight wins. Things are shifting drastically from the initial expectations. Aster wins the duel from the ramp to bring the score level at 9-9. It's a wild sight seeing the match back on equal footing. Aster regains the edge, putting him up 10-9. He's definitely playing like the higher seed in this meeting. Aster looks completely untouchable right now, strolling to another win to extend his lead. He looks like the player ranked 12th in the league today. What a grind! But Omnic manages to hold the ramp and secure another one. He's finally managed to break that momentum for the favorite. He's showing incredible strength, securing another round to lock this match in a dead heat. Just a huge contrast to how he's been playing lately. What a slugfest! Both players tore into each other, but the favorite barely survives to put himself one step closer to victory. He really managed to squeeze through that final duel. Absolutely stunning finish. Aster shuts the door right here to claim the victory. He really had to dig deep for that one, but he managed to keep his composure when it counted most. He had to work for that. Welcome everyone! We are on red line today for a match between Zeth and the heavily favored Aster. What a fight! Aster barely scrapes through that exchange to open things up. Aster has basically owned this rivalry with a 79% win rate in their history. He has looked completely dominant in their recent head-to-head encounters. We have to wonder if Zeth can actually keep up this pace throughout the match. Aster just can't be stopped right now, easily picking Zeth off the Tetris for another clean round. His recent 33-3 run over the last day shows just how sharp he's playing. Both players were trading heavy damage, but he managed to outlast the exchange to keep this surge going. He's simply untouchable right now, picking up another victory to keep the pressure high. Zeth answers back with a clean shot to get a round on the board. Aster secures that ramp position perfectly and just simply refuses to let Zeth back into this match. He's really making his top quartile rating felt right now. Zeth is currently sitting on a 40% win rate on this map. He's historically struggled to find consistency here, so this sudden push of confidence is surprising. I wonder if he can maintain this energy against someone of Aster's caliber. Aster's lead is widening as he hits a 7-4 gap. This keeps mirroring that close encounter they just had on orange. Aster goes into the break with an 8-4 advantage. It's a very predictable start based on the matchup. Zeth is trying to stay competitive, but the skill gap is clearly showing through. Time for the side swap. Aster just keeps building this momentum, easily picking Zeth off the ramp to keep his lead secure. He's really putting that massive gap in rankings on display. Aster is just cruising now, pushing up to 10. He's looking just as sharp as he did in his 13-11 win against Omnic. Zeth manages to hold that ramp position to get another one back. A gutsy play by Zeth to keep this contest alive. Zeth is putting up a fight, showing some real grit to put together a string of rounds here. Still hard to believe, given how lopsided their overall history is. Aster just needed one round to shut down that mini comeback attempt. He's really living up to that high ranking today. Zeth is really making things difficult for Aster right now, refusing to let him close this out quickly. He wins the trade on the ramp, putting him just one round away from victory. The gap in their career records is showing once again. Unbelievable! Zeth barely survives that fight to keep his hopes alive. What a desperate scramble to keep this series moving. He's not going down without a fight, securing another one for himself. Zeth is seriously shaking his opponent's confidence right now. Zeth is on fire, raining down shots from the boxes to keep this rally going. Zeth is putting some serious pressure on the favorite now. Absolute perfection from Zeth to keep the streak going and stay alive in this set. And that is it. Aster wipes him off the box to shut the door on this series. He really had to fight for his life at the end there, but his experience finally carried him through. That was an incredible effort from Zeth. He had to work for that. Welcome to the arena. We've got Omnic and Zeth facing off today to see who comes out on top. Zeth holds a healthy advantage with a 52% win rate over Omnic in their long history. It's an interesting start to this one since the odds favored Zeth, but Omnic is the one coming out on top of the first round. We'll see if that momentum holds. What a scramble! Omnic barely hangs on with a tiny sliver of health to take the lead. He's fighting hard despite their recent loss to Aster. We are completely deadlocked at 2 apiece right now. Zeth has definitely been the more consistent performer in their head-to-head history. Omnic pulls ahead and looks dangerous with a 3-2 lead. Surprisingly strong showing for a player sitting at rank 37. These exchanges are getting incredibly fast. Both of these players are reacting at lightning speed. Zeth is putting on the pressure now, utilizing that ramp for a great vantage point to extend his lead. Pure chaos as Zeth forces this tie at 4-all. Zeth's overall career win rate gives him a slight mathematical edge. Omnic claws back ahead, extending his narrow lead to 5-4. Zeth is making the most of that high ground to secure another round for himself. He's really digging in and fighting for his lead here. Omnic regains a narrow edge, sitting at 6-5. Both of these competitors are coming off tough losses to Aster. Omnic heads into the break with a 7-5 lead. I mean, he's definitely playing above his usual level here. We expected a close battle, but Omnic is really challenging the map advantage Zeth normally enjoys. Zeth needs a spark here. Zeth manages to knock him off the ramp to get this game all squared up. The higher rated player is starting to find his footing. Zeth's currently on a roll, using that Tetris position to shift the momentum back in his favor. Omnic manages to stay one step ahead at 8-7. A tough day for the lower ranked guy, yet he keeps pushing. Omnic is really punishing Zeth's mistakes, quickly forcing him off that ramp to widen the gap. Omnic just edged ahead, holding a slim 9-8 lead. Zeth's recent victory on Blame Mapas should give him confidence here. Omnic is putting a real stranglehold on this series, cleaning up Zeth even from that ramp. It's a tough stretch for Zeth after having a solid run on Mapas. Unbelievable, he barely escapes with his life after that absolute war from the Tetris. And just like that, Zeth levels the field at 10 each. Expectations for Zeth were high coming into this one, and he's delivering. Good lord, what a frantic exchange. He barely survives that clash with a single point of health to make it 3 in a row. He just keeps winning these encounters, and now he's one step from victory. Absolute perfection to close it out. Zeth secures the final round to take the whole match. Honestly, it's just a testament to the great Omnic showed today. Pushing this almost to the limit. He really made Zeth sweat for every single point. What a fight. Welcome to Berserk League duels on Orange. Aster looks strong today, but Omnic is ready to fight back. Aster is clearly the heavy favorite here with a 68% all-time win rate. He's been in great form lately, but we've already seen Omnic trade a couple of rounds with him in their previous meeting. It'll be interesting to see if those early picks carry over. Aster holds a slim lead as we head back out. The difference in ladder standing is staring us right in the face. Unbelievable, he barely survives that exchange, clinging to a tiny sliver of health to even the score. Aster's just a single step ahead at 3-2. He's looked absolutely lethal across all his games today. Aster's comfortably in the driver's seat at 4-2. Omnic is fighting back, refusing to let this match become a blowout. He's really had a tough day overall with that 7-29 record. Aster has a huge historical advantage in this rivalry, winning a massive 75% of their head-to-head encounters. Well, it's clear those long-term trends are weighing on Omnic, especially since he struggled to find success in his other matches today. He needs to find a way to disrupt this momentum. And just like that, Omnic forces a complete deadlock. Tough to believe this is a toss-up given the gap in ratings. Aster is quickly reclaiming control of this match after those two quick rounds from Omnic. Aster leads 7-5 heading into the switch. Well, the top-seeded player is proving why he's the favorite here. Omnic is hanging around, but Aster's sheer consistency is starting to show. Time to see if Omnic responds. What a fight! He walks away from that absolute chaos with a tiny fraction of health left. He's really digging in against a much higher rated opponent. Aster pulls further ahead, now sitting at 8-6. His recent 33-3 run today makes him look completely unstoppable. Omnic narrows the gap to just 7-8 now. It's definitely a battle of wheels for the rank 38 seed. Aster is quickly getting back on top, shutting down that little spark of momentum Omnic had. That top quartile talent is just too sharp today. Incredible! He claws back this encounter, surviving a brutal exchange by the narrowest of margins. Just an absolute nail-biter of a round. Omnic has finally leveled the playing field at 9 apiece. Total collapse in confidence from the higher-seeded side. He's simply on a roll now, picking up another round to take the lead. Hard to believe the favorite is this rattled. Absolute perfection from him. That's 4 straight, and he's looking completely untouchable right now. Aster finally cuts through the pressure to secure this one. His victory over Zeth earlier tonight showed he can close these out. We are officially tied at 11, and this is becoming a complete toss-up. Pure chaos on the board as these two refuse to budge. A completely untouched encounter puts him in a position to close the series right now. He's looking completely locked in during this final stretch. Game over! He slams the door shut to secure the victory. He really forced him to earn every single point in this series. Omnic just refused to go down quietly. Hard fought win. Welcome everyone, we're on Dunes for a match between Zeth and the heavily favored Aster. Good luck to both. Aster has held the upper hand in about 79% of their past encounters. It's definitely a stark contrast to the current score. It will be interesting to see if Zeth can actually put together a real upset here. Aster reacts quickly and puts the pressure back on from that elevated spot. He is definitely bringing that top quartile skill to the server. Zeth is really building some momentum here, taking the fight right to him while he's perched up high. Zeth is just dominating, leading a massive 4-1. He's certainly shaking off that recent victory from their last encounter. Aster answers back immediately and shows some real grit to keep this fight alive. It is still a bit surreal to see him lagging behind like this. Aster is coming into this with a strong 33-3 record over the last day. So yeah, seeing him struggle like this is a real anomaly given his recent form. He'll need to figure out what's going wrong quickly if he wants to turn this around. Aster swiftly takes him down from the box, continuing his steady climb back into this match. Zeth still holds a narrow 2-round cushion. It's a surprising shift compared to how their last series played out. Zeth is firmly in control with a 7-4 lead. It's rare to see the rank 11 guy looking this lost. Zeth takes a commanding 8-4 lead into the switch. Well, this is the exact opposite of what we expected to see. Aster is usually the one in control of this rivalry, but Zeth is putting on a clinic right now. Time to see if this holds. Zeth keeps his foot on the gas at 8-5. He is definitely used to winning most of these head-to-heads. Zeth pulls another clean win, taking Aster right off that elevated position. Unreal! Aster clings to life with a sliver of health, barely surviving a chaotic exchange to shut him down. Zeth extends his lead to a commanding 10-6. The usual gaps in skill aren't showing up today. Zeth is really putting the pressure on here, just a few more and he closes the door on this one. Zeth just keeps rolling, securing the edge from the box to put himself one step from victory. Aster secures a sharp win here to keep the match going. He's showing some real resilience despite the deficit. And there it is, Zeth secures the victory with a clean finish from the box. I can't believe what we just saw. He really defied the odds today to hand the favorite a rare defeat. Welcome everyone! We're in Italy for a match between Omnic and Zeth, where the favorite looks to keep his momentum. Zeth has held the upper hand in their long history together, and honestly, that edge usually extends to their recent head-to-head meetings as well. It will be interesting to see if Zeth can recover his poise after that slow start. Zeth manages a slim lead, sitting one up on Omnic. A very fast start for both of them. We are completely locked in a deadlock right now. He has struggled to close out matches today, but looks better here. Zeth is barely clinging to a narrow lead. Hard to ignore that he's been in much better form lately. Zeth is really pulling away with a 4-2 cushion. It feels like his typical dominance is starting to set in. That was an absolute flash of speed. He's completely taking control of this server. He's absolutely on fire, picking up another effortless round to extend the streak. Omnic answers back with a sharp response to keep things interesting. He manages to claw back another round, refusing to let Zeth pull even further ahead. The pressure is really mounting on the favorite now. Omnic has been having a brutal day with a 7-29 record. It's clear that the struggle is reaching his matches here. It makes the current deficit even more discouraging when you consider how hard he's been fighting just to stay in this set. Zeth takes a 7-5 lead into the break. Well, it's a very predictable start for the higher rated player. Zeth is simply playing more consistently and looks comfortable with this margin. He's showing real grit here, deleting his opponent in a blur to close that gap further. He's proven he can trade blows with anyone on the server. Zeth holds a 2-round cushion as we move on. He's managing to maintain that historical edge. Zeth keeps the momentum swinging his way at 9-6. Zeth is definitely making the most of that rating gap today. Zeth completely shuts that comeback down, putting the pressure back on his opponent. It's a tough spot for the number 38 seed right now. He's just unstoppable right now, extending his lead to 5 rounds. It reflects that narrow victory he secured in their previous encounter. What a display of speed! He's just 1 round away from securing the victory. The gap between these two is on full display tonight. Unbelievable. He scrapes through with a sliver of health to keep this series alive. Absolutely miraculous to see that survive with virtually nothing left. He continues to hold off the inevitable, refusing to let this series end just yet. And there it is. Zeth closes out the series with an incredible final shot to seal the deal. A clean result for the higher seed. Omnic showed some heart, but he just couldn't find any answers for that raw speed. Welcome to the Berserk League. Omnic and Aster are facing off on fast aim, with Aster entering as the heavy favorite. Aster reads the play perfectly, picking Omnic right off the ramp to start things off. He is really capitalizing on that rating gap right now. Omnic has struggled significantly in his head-to-head matchups, having lost the vast majority of their 500 bouts together. It's clear he's fighting an uphill battle here. I wonder if he can maintain this early level of confidence. Aster's just cruising along with a commanding 3-1 lead. That's a tough day so far with a 729 record. Aster simply refuses to let up, dropping another effortless shot to clear him off the ramp. He's just completely taken over, clearing his opponent off the ramp yet again. His status as a top quartile player is definitely on full display. The momentum has completely shifted as he secures another round to keep this streak alive. Omnic finds his mark from the ramp to put a stop to that run. He's certainly showing some grit after those tough losses to Zef earlier. Aster is putting up an incredible 32-4 record today, making him nearly untouchable in these early sessions. You know, he usually handles the pressure well, but those 2 lost rounds in a row are starting to look a bit concerning. He needs to shake this off quickly. Aster still holds a healthy 3-round cushion. His ranking as the number 12 seed puts a lot of pressure on him. Aster leads 7-5 going into the break. I mean, the score reflects what we expected to see from the higher seed. He's firmly in control, though Omnic is hanging in there. Let's see if Omnic can rally. Aster holds his ground on the ramp to shut that momentum swing down immediately. The consistency is clearly there, mirroring his 70% success rate lately. Aster is really putting the screws to him now, securing another quick win from the ramp. A fierce clash between the two on the ramp, but Aster comes out on top to keep the streak alive. He's mirroring the result from their last encounter together. Aster keeps the pressure mounting, extending his current run to 4 straight. He's really putting that 314 rating difference to work. A quick reaction here to put a stop to the momentum. He's showing a lot of hard fighting from the bottom of the rankings. He is really closing the gap now, putting together a very impressive streak to get back into this. He just won't stop, picking Aster right off the ramp to keep this surge going. It's rare to see him find this much success against the 12 seed. What a brawl! He claws through the chaos to extend his run to 4 straight. He's putting on a clinic right now, nearly evening the score. Unbelievable. He just barely survives that firefight to put 5 straight in the books. The pressure is officially on the favorite now. Absolutely stunning. He manages to peg Aster off the ramp to bring this series all the way back to a dead heat. Aster answers back with a precise shot to put himself on the verge of victory. He's reclaiming his side of the server here. What a finish! He closes out the series with an absolute laser of a shot. He really forced a battle there, but in the end, that experience at the top just prevailed. He had to work for that. Welcome to Red Line. We have Zef and Aster facing off today, with the heavy favorite looking to maintain his dominant lead. Aster is an absolute force on this map with a 67% win rate. It's wild because Zed seems to have the upper hand early on today. We have to see if this early lead is just a fluke or a genuine shift in their rivalry. Aster edges ahead, putting Zed in a tough spot. He's been absolutely on fire today with that 32-4 record. The momentum has completely shifted and he's now taking full control of the map. He's really reminding us why he's in the top quartile. He secures another win from the ramp and the momentum is firmly in his favor. It's a familiar sight given their long-term history together. Zeth finds another clean opening from the ramp to narrow the gap. It's a welcome spark of resistance for the underdog. What a scrap! Zeth survives the exchange on the ramp to bring the score within 1. He's proving he can trade blows with the best in the league. Aster currently holds a huge advantage in their head-to-head history, winning nearly 80% of their meetings. Well, it's interesting that Zeth actually took their most recent encounter on the dunes. He'll need to find that same energy again if he wants to stay in this. Aster holds a 2-round cushion as we head into 10. He's usually so dominant in these head-to-head matchups. Aster is really putting the pressure on here. He's just too fast for Zeth right now. His current level of play is matching that rank 12 status. It's 8-4 in favor of Aster heading into the break. I mean, things are playing out exactly how we thought they would. He's showing why he's the higher ranked player here today. Time for a reset. Aster is just too sharp, quickly shutting Zeth down even with a height advantage. He's totally erasing that loss from their recent Dunes clash. Zeth takes advantage of the high ground here to keep things interesting. He's showing some real grit despite the rating deficit. Aster manages to pick him off those boxes to keep this lead widening. The veteran is really leaning on that experience today. Zeth just shuts him down from the Tetris blocks to keep this game alive. The underdog is fighting hard to close this gap. Aster's climbing fast, sitting pretty with a 10-7 lead. He's suddenly found a whole new gear. Zeth is really starting to carve out a path back into this. Zeth holds his ground from the boxes and keeps this surge alive with 3 straight wins. He's really putting on a show for the crowd right now. Aster puts a stop to the momentum, knocking Zeth off the ramp with a clean shot. It's a tough spot for the rank 32 player to be in. Zeth manages to reset the pace with another lightning fast reaction shot. Aster just crushed that exchange from the ramp to put himself in a commanding position. A complete shutdown of that attempt to mount a comeback. And there it is, Aster closes things out to secure the victory. He just looks a cut above today, putting an end to that little comeback attempt with a strong finish. Welcome to the arena. We have Omnic and Zeth facing off today, with Zeth entering as the strong favorite. Omnic has had a brutal day with a 629 record over the last 24 hours. It makes this opening round win even more impressive given the pressure he's under. It will be interesting to see if he can actually sustain this momentum. Omnic is really surging ahead with a 2-1 lead. Zeth had the advantage in their most recent series. We're seeing a pattern here as these two are trading rounds almost perfectly. Zeth is really picking up steam here, making it look easy from the Tetris. Unreal. He barely survives that exchange on the box to secure his third straight win. Zeth secures another victory from the box, effectively shutting down any hope of a comeback. Omnic manages to knock Zeth off the ramp, showing some real grit to tighten this series up. The pressure is definitely starting to mount for the favorite. Omnic clears him out of the Tetris to keep this resurgence alive. The underdog is starting to look way more comfortable here. Zeth holds a strong historical lead, having won over 52% of their past battles. It's a trend we've seen play out throughout the day, especially since Zeth recently took another game from him. Right? Now he just needs to maintain this distance before Omnic finds a way back into it. Zeth holds a 7-5 lead heading into the break. Well, he's in the driver's seat just as the odds predicted. He looked much cleaner during that 4-round run, but Omnic is keeping him honest. Switching sides, now let's get back in. Zeth pulls ahead to 8-5 and looks unstoppable. He's definitely justifying that higher rating on the ladder. Zeth just widened the gap, now sitting comfortably at 9-5. He's comfortably handling the pace here. He just completely shuts down the comeback attempt with a spotless finish. Really putting his higher ladder standing on display now. And that's 4 in a row for the favorite. Zeth looks entirely in control despite the early turbulence. What a frantic scramble! He barely walks away from that disaster, putting himself just 1 point from victory. Talk about a nail-biter for a finish. Omnic shuts that door quickly, picking him right off the box to stay in the game. He really timed that perfect to catch him off guard. Absolutely insane. Zeth barely survives with a sliver of health to close out the map. He's just in a completely different gear today. That's another one in the books for Zeth, as he keeps his dominance over Omnic.